Doc Kaycee. So for today's episode, we're going to direct more to the investing in mental health, and I invited a good friend and a good patient of mine. Her name is Lana Johnson. Hi, Lana.
Hi. Hello, Dr. Kaycee. Thank you for having me here on your show, and congratulations on your
Thank
new
you.
YouTube channel.
Thank you. So actually, I chose you because you're one of the people, like elite humans,
Wow.
who experience high stress level.
Yes.
Because this is the parang CEO managerial work. And it's not only because of work, it's also because of the personal life.
Yes.
And so you're living alone also. And
Yes.
it's very stressful for a person, like a single person, especially during pandemic, at the same time with work and at the same time personal life.
Yes.
I know for a fact that at a certain point of your life, like last year, parang
Yes.
everything went how do you call it? Parang magulo,
Chaotic.
like
Yes.
every part of that life. And how were you able to
Yes.
manage to cope with that stress?
Okay. Well, yeah, like what you mentioned, I do have a high stress, how would you call it, job. So I'm the marketing and PR chief of Victor Consuni Development Corporation. So we do real estate, we do construction. So that's basically my day job. But on the other side, I run my own PR company. So I also work with different brands, clients like you.
Yeah.
So I'm not just your friend and patient.
Yeah.
You're also one of my clients.
Yeah.
So yes, not really chaotic. I think it's also because of the pandemic. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people, not just me, I guess because here in the Philippines we have like one of the longest lockdowns, and so I guess also a lot of people experience having, like, let's say, mental stress, or they just because they're just cooped up at their homes, right? Like with me, I have to really be out there. I have to go to the office. I have to like I'm used to going to events, traveling, that kind of thing. So yes, I think it's not just like me, but I think a lot of people, I guess everybody probably went through that as well.
So what made you think that you were stressed? Because that's your usual. You're always
Yes.
stressed. But
Yes.
what made you think that, oh my, I need help?
Well, I guess it started when I couldn't sleep. I need to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I don't normally take naps, but I really sleep straight. So my friends, they would always joke that I sleep on demand, because if I say I'm going to be in bed by 10 p.m. and be awake at 5 a.m., I followed that. So when I started not being able to sleep, like my sleep pattern was messed up, that's when I realized that there could be something wrong, that maybe stress is really taking a toll on me. So aside from not being able to sleep, let's say, regularly or having enough hours, I just also felt that I'm generally a patient person. I deal with people every day, like you said.
Yeah.
I'm used to stress, but then I just felt that I was easily triggered.
I can see the triggers, like whenever you
Yes, and I started feeling that like I was getting a bit more angry.
Yeah.
Like the tone of my voice would be higher, that kind of thing. I feel that it's still somewhat there. We still have to sort of work on it. But I mean, we're still in a lockdown. But during that time, I just felt that I was really like small things trigger me.
Yeah.
And to the point that sometimes I find it very hard to focus, like even to, let's say, watch a movie.
Yes.
I just find it hard to focus, I'm a multitasker and all of that. So like not being able to focus, that was also one of the signs, or like the red flags, that I was really sort of like stressed. I'm probably not, how would you call it? There's a little imbalance.
There's so many forms of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Like for some, it's the COVID. It's a physical infection.
Yes. Mhm.
Viral infection. Like in your case, what form of stress have you experienced? Like, is it mental,
I would
family, work, or physical, or environmental? Like you have molds in your home.
It was more like mental health. Yeah, like more mental stress, emotional stress, right? Because I think when you're also it could be a mix of everything. Like you miss your family, you miss your friends, right? Like you lack being able to socialize, right? It's not like before where you could go out and let's say have lunch with your girlfriends, or let's say you go to a dinner party. It's different. So I guess it's a mix of all things. It's not really pinpoint to one thing, right?
Because for some people, there are so many different level of stress. Like for some, even if they're not stressed, once they have a wound on their shin, they're going to be depressed. So those
that
people
could also, yes,
they have a genetic predisposition. So some people, they don't have the genetic predisposition, but they have more negative life events. Like in your case, kasi you felt that you reach your level of stress that you need help already.
Yes.
So for that one, how did you manage to get help?
I called you. That's how I managed to get help. I called you, yes, because I think that's also the thing. Like I mean, as I talk to people a lot, I'm always on the phone. I mean, I'm a communication person. I'm always like chit chatting with someone. But sometimes before, whenever I'm home, I sort of just try to shut off. Like I want the peace and quiet, just because I'm dealing with a lot of people. So I guess what happened was like reverse, because I'm not really interacting or talking to people. So I probably had too much quiet. Yes. So I didn't also know who to talk to, who to call. So I remember when I was there was something stressful going on with work, and I don't know, I felt like I was getting a panic or anxiety attack, and then I was thinking, who can I talk to? Who can I call, right? And so that's when I called you, and you answered. And then that's when I realized that, oh, you also, how would you call it? You're also an expert.
Not just on skin.
Not just in
with the
skin, not just the physical, right? So that sort of helped me. I mean, and then ever since, you sort of, I don't know what magic you did.
But of course, it's hard. It's just so nice that you were able to apply it.
Of course.
Yes. Because it's more of being aware.
Yes, self-aware of what you need to do. And also, I think it's also getting the right help, because my thing was, I mean, to each their own, but I didn't want to go to, let's say, an actual therapist, or let's say a psychiatrist, because I know that they might prescribe me pills or something. So that was also something that I was really sort of scared of. It wasn't really about getting help. It's just I didn't want them to put me on the pill or something, because I knew I could be okay, right? It's just everybody right now is really going through something, right? Whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, financial, because we're all in a pandemic. So I think that's what I'm really grateful for. It was that you were the right person, and your whole, how would you call it, holistic approach.
What are the steps that you did that we talk about that help you cope with the stress?
Well, I guess the first step was talking to you, right? Because you also sort of, how would you call it, recalibrated. Yes. And then I think one thing that was what was very important is just the reassurance, because sometimes when you're going through let's say emotional or like mental stress, sometimes you start to question yourself, right? Like what's going on, or even to the point that sometimes you think, am I going crazy, right? So just to have that reassurance. And I remember what you told me, that you are just really stressed out right now, so you're triggered, right? So that sort of reassured me and gave me comfort that, okay, it's normal, right? So I think that was step one, and then self-awareness and assurance, because sometimes when you're going through something, I think anything in your life, right, whether it's a breakup, whether let's say you lost your job or anything, right, you really just need somebody to be there for you, to listen to you. So I think that was for me, that was the most important thing. That alone sort of helped me. And then I guess it sort of trickles down to your program, right? Even to, let's say, your diet. Like I know you also have this this brand about like the whole anti-inflammatory diet. So initially I was a bit skeptical about it. I'm like, how does one's diet affect sort of one's mental health or sort of like their, you know, like their state of mind, right? But then of course I trust you, so I'm just like, okay, let's eat this, right? So that was one. And then of course the other, you know, the other things like this is actually one of my favorite. I was like, you know, during the time I was thinking you should give me I think I messaged you a drum, you know, and sometimes I just want to bury myself in it, like for example the organic bath soap, and I don't know how, but then it really sort of just draws all that toxins. Like the toxins in your body. And then yes, I guess it's also about whenever I feel stressed, I would go to your clinic and just get, let's say, a facial, a laser, and funny thing enough, I would fall asleep in your clinic.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, remember I messaged you, I should just sleep here. Yeah, so things like that. I guess because you're an expert also, so whatever steps you were recommending. I remember there was a time that because I wasn't eating right, I wasn't eating the right food, I had a micro deficiency, right? And
yes.
I told you I think I'm anemic or something, but then you really helped me like sort of like get the test. And then I remember we did the IV drip. Initially I was a bit scared because when you gave me the prescription, you told me that you need all of this, and just looking at it I'm like, those are a lot of like tablets, vitamins to sort of, you know, to take. And then I remember you gave me an option that, okay, if you don't want to take all of this, you can do an IV, right? And that really helped me. I remember when I went to your clinic that day, it's like I think I didn't sleep for probably 48 hours, right? And so whatever magic you did, when I went home, I remember I think sleeping for 16 to 18 hours, you know, and when I woke up, I felt sort of like a brand new person, literally.
Nice.
Yes.
Because what's nice about you, I mean, you were open. Like,
of course.
Like for self-awareness, like going to the clinic itself, it's like loving yourself. Parang
Yes.
giving time for yourself. Parang, ikaw kasi yung type ng tao na parang you give yourself to everyone because you're a PR and a marketing person. So, you give yourself to everyone. So,
Not
parang,
really give, but
not naman. Konti lang.
Okay. Lend. Yeah, it's okay.
Parang you need to conserve din kasi
Yes.
that energy for yourself. Even if you sleep like 18 to 24 hours, if you don't know how to really process or recover, it's not going to be good for your body. Like, for example, like for the diet. So, what we did is we look at the things that we can control. Like for the diet, if you can lessen the inflammation in your diet, because one of the major cause of inflammation is diet. If you eat too much carbohydrates, it causes glycation, which glycation causes, it's a process, it's a chemical process that causes inflammation, free radical formation. Actually, it can cause wrinkle formation, pigmentation.
It's a good thing I started your diet. Okay.
And if you keep doing that, there will be a silent inflammation in the body that will cause chronic inflammation.
Okay.
And with added mental stress and toxicity, for example, if you have exposure to pollution, to molds, to toxin, what's going to happen? It can, and of course, the pandemic, it can activate your cancer genes. If you have cancer genes, you can have cancer. Like so many people today, like 6 months to a year after the pandemic,
yes,
they experience autoimmune disease like lupus and then cancer, right?
Yes.
Because of that.
Okay.
So how do you manage it? So first is the diet.
Okay.
Lessen the inflammation. So of course remove the possible cause of toxicity. That's why sometimes we do food intolerance tests. Sometimes your body, it feels what you don't want. So you just listen to your body and remove what you think makes you bloat or makes you lethargic. But for some people who really craves, like some people kasi they really love eating, and even if they feel bloated, they still keep eating because of the stress. But in your case, you were able to steer away from that and then do and then focus on what you want to eat. So it's nice. Second is because you were full of stress.
Yes.
So your micronutrients is not the same. You cannot just get it in an ordinary diet.
I never knew that a person needed that many micronutrients. I thought you were messing with me.
No, just for you, because from your symptoms, you need those nutrients, micronutrients. Most people or doctors, they will tell you it's enough. You can just eat that from your. If you're a not stressed or you don't have any autoimmune, you can just get it from your diet.
Yes.
But if your energy, if you're giving too much of your energy to the environment, to the people surrounding you, better to get the micronutrient level of your body and then look at the deficiency and then supply the nutrients.
Yes.
But in your case, since you don't want to take the oral, which is we can do the IV drip.
Yes.
And then it's nice that you incorporated resistance training. It's hard to practice what you preach. You really need to do that. Parang every one of us knows that a good diet and a good exercise will make you work out in the sun will make you a better person. But it's so hard to practice. But you were able to do that in a short span of time. So that's really important because it increases your metabolism. And then, of course, what you did is at some point, the mental stress that you experience from work and from personal life and from pandemic actually messes with your hormones.
Oh.
And I like the combination. So at some point, you might need life coaching. Like when I recommended that to you, you were able to get a life coach again.
Yes.
Which is very important. Not just a mentor, because talking to your friends about it will not actually make you well.
That's true.
Yeah, you need to have a proper guidance on how to align your goals and how to make you better. That's why some people...
But of course, it's also nice to sort of just have a friend who's, you can say that, hey, I'm not okay, and have wine, yes. And that's what I liked about you. You didn't tell me to stop, because I love drinking wine. But what
wine.
No, but what I love about you is you didn't tell me to stop drinking wine, but you told me to lessen. Right?
Yes.
So instead of 2-3 glasses, you were like, try 1 glass.
1 glass.
Of course, I had 2.
Yeah, not more than 3 glasses.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Because sometimes some people, they go to the psychiatrists.
Yes.
Of course, most psychiatrists, they're very, parang, they studied for a long time. They're not just, they don't have the patience to talk to people sometimes. They just give medicine. So
But
it's
what
nice.
is the difference? Because for me, that was my concern, because I have a lot of friends who also, I have this friend, she went through a really hard breakup, and that's what sort of also gave me that comparison, because she's still basically on meds, on pills. She's sorted out, but she's still in some way dependent on it, right?
Yes.
So how is the holistic approach different from the
preventive medicine?
Yes.
So sometimes some people, they go to psychiatrists and then they're diagnosed with depression or anxiety or burnout. And most of the time, you have this happy pill that will make you better. If you can try first with adaptogens, or adaptogens, these are herbal medicines na it can be an alternative to those pills that will make you happy. At the same time,
happy pill.
Combine that with lifestyle change. Like in your case, probably you're stressed, but the way you respond to stress is you were able to adapt. But some people, they don't have that adaptation. They have lower level of this hormone, but you were able to change your lifestyle, remove the toxicity, the toxin, environmental factors.
Triggers, right? That's what I remember you told me. You have to get rid of your triggers, right?
You can add the micronutrient deficiency, the medication, and also the adaptogens, which will make you happy.
Yes.
But it depends. Like not all adaptogens can be given to you. Like this one, the one that you like.
Yes.
This is a bath soap. It will remove the toxin in your body. So it's really good if you can do that once a week. But it's the nature's way of removing the toxin and doing the exercise and doing the sauna or steam bath. So that's really helpful. But just in case na talagang may imbalance talaga sa hormones, pag hindi nag-respond, then we can do the psychiatric side.
So after a little talk, I'm going to take this.
Yes.
I'm going to take this home.
That's our gift to you now.
All right. And then I have sort of like how would you call it? I mean, of course, like aside from doing the coaching and you're one of the best dermatologists here in the country. I think also probably our viewers, because you're a preventive medicine doctor, maybe you could sort of, I know we talk often, but I never really fully understood that. So maybe you could share that What is when you say preventive medicine, what is preventive medicine?
With preventive medicine, the best talaga is prevention eh. Like in med school, we were taught how to diagnose, how to diagnose and treat the...
So it's really, you don't
This-
prevent,
you don't
take
prevent.
medicine.
Parang
Mhm.
the prevention, like 5 units of nutrition.
Mm,
More of the
okay.
prevention, not so much. So for me, when I was doing dermatology,
Yes.
I and then when I saw the inflammation on patients, na parang it's not just kasi skin, you can see the inflammation, it comes from
That's what
inside
they
eh.
say. Skin, what's that? Beauty is not skin deep.
Yeah, kasi
Yes.
that one, bakit ka nagkakaroon ng rashes? It's because what's coming inside,
I
diba? Parang
see.
there's inflammation inside.
Mm,
So how do you heal
alright.
that? You cannot just give medicine and
Mhm.
then parang it's really not just, it's more of the best is
Okay.
lifestyle change or
Yes.
prevention. If you
Okay.
can do preventive, you don't need to give that medicine. Diba?
And this is also applicable not just, for example, for your health, for your mental health, but
Yes.
it's also applicable, let's say for beauty, right? Because
Yes.
also that's what I like about you,
Yeah.
because I don't really, I mean, as much as possible, I want to take, the non-invasive, but I'm half Western, so of course, genetic, gravity, you have all those factors. So what I want to also understand is, how is preventive medicine related to aesthetic medicine or aesthetic sort of practice, where you can take a more a non-invasive approach but still look, let's say, 10 years younger?
I always tell the patient it's 60% genetic and lifestyle.
Okay.
So that you can control.
Alright.
The lifestyle, which is 60%, but the genetic
It's
yeah.
40%.
Genetic and lifestyle is 60%.
Oh, okay.
But the 40% is intrinsic aging.
that's when you count.
Yes. Kasi even if you have good genes, even if you exercise, even if you eat healthily,
That's what I said.
the body
Yes,
ages.
genetics will knock on your door and gravity will
That's
come
why-
for you.
That's why talaga aesthetic, it will
Yes.
never be parang go out of style.
I
Parang
see.
it's parang taking care of yourself.
Yes.
It's like fashion. If you love fashion,
Mhm.
dapat equal din. Diba?
Yes, of course.
Like ngayon, like fashion, but it's parang it represents yourself. Like the way you dress. But of course, the way you look. Like if you have too much pimple, parang your client will not really trust you.
I know. That's why I
Diba?
keep you. You
Yeah.
take care of the 40%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's very important.
Yes.
So, for the 40%, you might not be able to, I mean, if you're going to take care of the 40%, do preventive medicine, like you go to your derma or to your aesthetic doctor or to your cosmetic or plastic surgeon. Something can be done that you might not need to do surgical facelift in the future. Like for Lana, she doesn't like surgery. So, like if we can just do something like
I might
exercising.
need it.
You don't need
No.
But it's just that you're being proactive and preventive actually in this kind because you don't like surgery.
Yes.
So it's
Well,
nice.
it's not, for me to, like I said, to each their own, right? But if you
Yeah.
can take
Probably
a
5
more-
years from now, no?
maybe.
Okay.
I'll call you. Okay.
So thank you so much for giving us your time. Actually, it's nice that you go to the clinic because I'm also learning from you.
Aw.
It's really the execution.
Thank you for
Yeah.
having
Yes.
me here at our showroom,
Residences.
M Residences.
Actually, I
Yes.
was able to buy from them because I
Yes.
really love this place.
Thank you.
Mm.
Yes. Visit our website to www.m-residences.com.
Okay.
Okay.
So from our interview with Miss Lana Johnson, we learned how important to take care of yourself. So it's not only just by looking at your diet, exercising, or doing the mental work by doing life coaching. I mean, it's a holistic kind. Like you look at every part of your life that you can control and then improve on it. And then you might want to ask for an expert help if you think you might not actually do it, right? Like in her case, she's a very brilliant girl.
Thank you.
Very brilliant girl. But it doesn't mean that you cannot just Google everything. I mean, sometimes you need an expert help. And it's so nice that she was able to incorporate the preventive medicine kind in her life. I hope you guys learn a little something from our issue of mental health, of skinvesting, and I'm really happy that you were able to join me with my special guest, Miss Lana Johnson. I know how busy you are. And
You're
thank you
welcome.
for making this possible.
Of course.
Having our shoot at M Residences.
Residences. Yes, so if you're interested to buy property, please, if you have time, check out our website, www.m-residences.com. And of course, please like Doc Kaycee's YouTube channel and subscribe. And if you want to erase 10 years off your face, visit Doc Kaycee at Luminisce. Thank you.
Thank you.